extraordinary human. Welcome, Jonathan Perez here. I'm very excited to be recording this. This is being recorded on July 31st, 2026, and I wanted to share the date because it marks a big moment. It feels like for me a big moment in my career. It feels like I am re-emerging into my work, into my brand, into my message and my mission with a level of clarity and also a level of like a must. I don't know what word to put on it, but I must share this because I know how many people can be served by it. It's what's completely transformed my own life, and I feel compelled to share it. And I'll just encapsulate that as my message. And my message, I'm seeing how it's coming through me as a body of work that wants to be created and wants to be shared. And so, by way of that, I feel honestly very excited because I think for the last couple of years I've worked with so many people, and my love for people and for humanity is so vast that when I get to bring a new level of passion to my work, it really excites me to see what it can become and what it will become. So just know that there's a lot more coming on the podcast. I won't reveal all of the details, but there's a lot more coming in terms of programs and different workshops and opportunities to work with me. And frankly, just a lot more ways for you to understand, digest, and contemplate what it means to truly transform. And also, just as the title and the main message in my brand states, to be unlimited. What does that even really mean? And how, if I want to be unlimited, okay, well, how do I do that? So, how do we embody that not only in our life, but also in leadership and in business? Those are going to be the main, not the only pillars, but some of the core pillars that we'll be diving into because I know a lot of the people I've worked with and in my own journey, I'm interested in one, how do I just feel unlimited in my own life? More freedom, more love, more joy, more depth, more passion, but also at the same time, build and create wealth, legacy, impact, beautiful relationships, and also success in business. All of those things matter and come together. It's not only about the internal states, but also how do we master this physical domain and be the most extraordinary, unlimited human beings that we can possibly be. That's the mission. So a couple of things that you'll see is that there'll be, of course, more consistent podcast episodes. There's going to be an Instagram dedicated to different clips for the podcast as well. You'll see video episodes also. And there will be more programs, masterclasses, and workshops coming up that you can take a look at. Going to be many opportunities to do more work with me coming up as well. So keep an eye out for that. The main thing I want to share also is a big theme that you're going to be hearing me talk about is that what I've understood in my own journey is that a big component of being unlimited in our lives is that, let me say this podcast actually used to be called Become Unlimited. But what the reason I changed it was that I had a shift in my own process, in my journey, where I thought, well, become has this connotation to the word that implies that it's in some future moment. I'm becoming unlimited, which, yes, we all are in the most beautiful ways, and it makes sense. However, what I also understood was, well, hold on here, because I've experienced many moments where a state or a shift in my state of mind, in my attitude, in my state of consciousness, actually resulted in me feeling unlimited right now, in this present moment, not in some future time. And so what I realized was, wait, you and me, we can be unlimited right now. We don't have to wait for some future moment. But it's really about doing the work to come back to being unlimited when we forget and go back into limitation. So making those distinctions is a lot of what I'll cover in future content as well. So I wanted to add that understanding of My goal here with a big part of my work is how do we learn to maintain, and when we forget or lose it, come back to the state of feeling unlimited as much as possible in our lives. So a big part of that is going to be understanding our biology and understanding how to master, not get rid of, the ego. Because the ego, what I've understood and learned and experienced, is that it's something that lives within every single one of us, and its primary job is preservation of the human body. So our brain is programmed with this preservation mechanism that is constantly scanning for potential threats. Why? Because its job is to ensure that this body, this physical vessel, lives on. So even as you hear me say that, I trust that you would agree that because its job is to preserve the body, it's not inherently bad. And a lot of times when I was going through personal development and spiritual work, many teachers and mentors, coaches, thought leaders, etc., would speak about the ego in a negative way. And I thought, well, heck, we're going to be with this thing for the rest of our lives. And the more I tried to understand it, the more it started to come to me that if I keep trying to resist my ego and fight my ego and get rid of it, and when it comes up, the fears come up, whatever thoughts come up, if I try and get rid of those, I'm actually resisting. And so I would actually resist and make the ego bad more and more by way of how I was relating to it. And so a big part of what I want to go deeper into in future episodes and more of my work is how do we, one, understand this mechanism within us that we call the ego? How do we understand it as part of our biology and a preservation mechanism? And then a big additional part of that is how do we not try and get rid of it, but master it and work with it, befriend it in some ways. Because if we didn't have it, I think we'd all be dead. Because in some ways, it's beautifully healthy. So we're going to go deeper into how to master that so that anytime, because the ego literally will get caught up in limitation by way of the senses and this 3D world. But how do we master it so that the more we master it and understand it, we get it out of the way so that we can see a more unlimited perception of life and therefore experience a more unlimited way of life by way of mastering the ego. So more on that to come. Another big topic we're going to dive into more deeply is leadership. Now, at this point in time, a big part of my work that I've done on the side as well is going deep with teams and within businesses and working with the leaders in those teams and essentially combining personal development, leadership development, spirituality, conscious communication tools, and a variety of other things. But the main thing that stood out to me is that in connection to what I just shared about the ego, many of these teams are in survival. They're in survival mode. And they're trying to be influential and impactful leaders. But what's getting them stuck is, again, they don't understand or know how to work with their egos. And so therefore their leadership is limited. And so I will be translating a lot of how this work of understanding and mastering the ego translates into, one, leading ourselves more powerfully, but also how it translates into being a more powerful, influential, and impactful leader out there in the world. So more on that to come as well. Okay, so for now, I'm going to leave this here. I just wanted to create this update as a way of, in some ways, reintroducing myself to the world now that I've come out of the cocoon. But just know that I'm deeply, deeply excited about what's to come. Check out the links. I'm going to share more links here in the bio for everything that's accessible to you. Keep an eye out for future and upcoming masterclasses and programs. And if you ever have any questions or if you ever want to share any breakthroughs or insights that you're having, just shoot me a DM on Instagram. That'll be an easy way for me to connect with you. Thank you for tuning in. If you're newer to my work, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so grateful and so honored that you're here. If you're someone that's been following my journey for a while, I so deeply appreciate you and value your time and your energy. And as always, I also want to say, if you ever feel that you're interested in learning about something specific or you want to unpack something specific, it might give me ideas for future content and future programs as well. So please stay in connection with me about how I can add more value to you and your personal development and spiritual journey. With so much love, I'll see you soon. Until next time.